Well, they're spares. The original exhaust, which can be re-chromed, just fettle in here and there and you've got yourself a nice bike.
Some call it Puch, but most say Puch. Either way, it's a VZ50 from 1978 that started yesterday.
It's from Austria, so the parts are quite rare. Bikes are very rare. It was my first bike at 16. It was £157. My dad bought it me. Best thing he ever had. 3 gears, pedal backwards to put the brake on, no indicators, no brake light, 30 mile an hour, 35 downhill.
Basic, yes, but definitely a cult classic. We're going in.
Lot number 468, the 1978 Puch moped. You've got some there, I see.
Oh, look, it's going.
8, 9 and 1,000.
This is because everybody knows that they were the thing that they had when they were a kid.
At 1,000, £1,100, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 says Andrew, 14 on the internet, 15 down there, Jordan.
Oh, man.
At 15, at 1,500, 16 says Andrew, at 16.
This guy wants it. He wants it.
At 18 says Andrew, at 18. 18.50 it's Jordan. 19 is back with Andrew. 1,950.
Oh, what?
150 new bid at 1,950. 2,000 says Andrew at Will at 2,050. 2-1, he just beat you in at 2-1. 2,150 says Andrew at 2,150. 2-2, so the guys at home at 2,250 says Andrew. It's 2,300 to Will. He was getting all excited then. 2,350, back in the room at 2,350, 2,350. So yes. The cash team.
We did not expect that marathon. Ultimately, a bit pricey, but at least we know they're in demand.
My first motorbike was a little Puch when I was about 6 or 7, I suppose, something like that. And I rode it and rode it and rode it till the tyres were bald. And I used to be on with my brother or my sister sat on the front there. And I used to say to my dad, can I go and get some fuel? Yeah. So I'd pull up and put 50p in, and that would keep me going for another few days.
For this one, we're calling on the services of our old friends, Rob and Brian in North Lincolnshire. We can't get enough of their complementary skills.
He's really good at electrics and, like the painting, a specialist skill that you need. I can't do that, it would look a mess if I did it. And the other thing being, Rob doesn't do the internet. And
this is true.
A lot of what we do requires old bits and pieces, old bikes, so I can do that bit. And I'm lucky enough to have this garage to do the bikes in. So there, yeah, it works.
Just like the Puch. Apparently.
Might have to sit on it, do you think, Bray?
Well, that's strange.
Isn't it? I don't think you were pedalling fast enough.
Rob's got other theories too.
That fuel probably has been in there a long while, so it's probably gone off.
A fresh batch of 2-stroke, petrol plus oil, has been mixed.
That'll do, Bray. Right, there we go.
A temporary pipe is plumbed into the carburettor. And there's a new spark plug too.
Try that. That's it. There we go.
Second.
Yeah, second.
And into neutral. There we are. Bingo. We've just got to now throw a bucket of magic over it.
Yeah, strip it and make it look like new, yeah? No, it's good.
Meanwhile, near Hull,
that one, I think.
Rob and Brian are deconstructing.
I think that's an 11. I can't get a 10 on it.
11, is it?
Unless it's just sweated with rust. That's it. There we go. How's that?
There we are. That will restore. We have the technology, don't we, Rob?
We do. We can do that, mate.
You all right with that?
Yeah, give it a waggle. There you are. Came off easy, to be fair, it really did.
Most of these Puch 50s didn't have anything between this end of the seat and the beginning of the tank. Yeah. It was just an open area that you'd cock your leg through.
This was like a posh one. This was top of range, wasn't it, in its day?
That's right.
Yeah, that's just your toolbox, isn't it? You would keep a little container in with your 2-stroke oil in, wouldn't you?
Top of the range, eh?
Yeah.
How to impress a girl.
Yeah.
What if she pronounced it wrong? What if she
Oh,
said
well.
poop?
Yeah, that could be a major problem,
Could have
couldn't
been
it?
a problem, yeah.
Yeah. When we were like in teens, they were £5, £10, £15.
Back in the day when they were on the market, they were up against the Yamaha Fizzers, and that was the sexy one to have. But if you were skint, you got one of these. The fact is, they were faster.
Look how tiny the piston is. I mean, that's all you've got. The bore, there's no ridge, there's no wear lip on it or anything. That will go back together beautifully.
It's testament to the build quality of the cheaper model.
There we go. Puch was one of the strongest, best engineered ones that didn't rot away. We'll just take everything off and put them in the box with a tank to go to Chroma's. It's off.
Yeah.
That's it.
As usual, Rob and Brian have nailed the prep stage in record time.
We are going well.
Next stop, bringing everything back to life.
How secure is that end, Rob?
It's all right, I
Does
think,
that
to be
feel all
honest,
right?
but yeah, I'm sure it is.
In North Lincolnshire, the restoration of our 1978 Puch moped is underway. But Rob and Brian have stalled with the tank.
What the problem is, there's like a dent there, there's a dent there. Somebody has had something in here at some time to try and push it out, and they've gone too far, so we've actually got a bulge. I did about a 100-mile round trip last week to a lad who is really, really good at taking dents out, and he says the problem with it is the tank is so thick, and all his stuff he's got to get in. He just can't get enough leverage on it.
As head of IT and the internet, Brian explored the possibility of a replacement.
Well, I've been even on to Austrian eBay, the equivalent, and I can't find one. So we run out of options, and we've got to do our best with this.
Yeah.
It'll be down to an off-site specialist to grind it flat. So while this is happening,
Right, we're off.
Rob and Brian can get on with prepping the frame for paint.
You got it right. We'll just take it down to bare metal. If there's still some pits, we've got some anti-rust paint which we'll brush on, leave that overnight and then prime it on top and then just flat it and paint it in the normal manner. It'll take ages, but we don't do like quick makeovers. They either get done the best that we can possibly do, or they don't get done.
Meanwhile, in a garage in Lincolnshire, the Puch's frame is now primed and ready for paint, and the wheels are being powder-coated off-site. As for the rest of it, the engine has been buffed up, and Rob's doing a quick check of the points whilst it's on the bench.
That's the two moving parts there. There's a cam on the end of the crank, and every time it goes round, it goes up and down. It opens and closes the points, which actually make a spark to make it run.
After that, Brian returns to a job he started a few days ago, restoring the alloy shock absorbers.
I gave them a once-over with a degreasing solution, and now it's going to have the buffing wheel.
This leaves Rob to ready himself for the application of some nice even coats of signal yellow. A good result, as they say, is all about the preparation.
We spun it back to bare metal, treated it with proper acid-based paint, which will kill the rust, washed it all off afterwards, built it up with primer filler like this, wet flatted it, painted it and painted it. There's about 5 or 6 layers of primer filler on here now. It's cellulose paint, just the same if it came out of a gun, there's no difference. But we don't need a compressor, we don't need thinners, and when they're done and they're buffed up, they look exactly the same. I always start from the top and work down. I always think if you start from the bottom and work up, the mist that you haven't put on is drifting down over what you've already done.
A lot of people wouldn't know how to do it, would they? And a rattle can probably cost you a tenner. You might use 5 of them, that's 50 quid. It'll come out right at the end of the day and it will save you £500.
Yellow is quite a difficult colour to cover with. If you're using a darker colour, it tends to be denser. I reckon 4 coats should see it looking nice and thick. That's it.
banks of the Humber.
There you go, mate.
From this side, isn't it? Yeah, there's a bit of grease.
Shove it right through. That's it. There we go, look.
Rob and Brian have been making very good progress
That's it. Engine's in.
with our beautifully painted Puck.
What horsepower are we looking at on one of these? About 2 or 3 horse?
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be doing the TT.
No.
After this, a few peripherals went on, but then it all ground to a halt.
We're waiting on, like, chroming and painting, and the guys, they're really good, and because of that, they've got long lists.
And those weren't the only problems. We then had to wait over 2 months before all the remaining parts arrived.
Brian's good on internet and that, but everything's come from Austria, it's come from Holland, it's come from Germany, and it's just so time-consuming.
But we got there in the end. Our mighty Puck is now looking the business. All the front end has been assembled and the refurbished tank is in place.
Russ, who does our paint, has done a super job.
Today, the bike should be finished.
Put headlights in. There's only 3 wires. Given time, I could get a chimpanzee to wire it. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn the engine. Caps on, fuel on normal run.
That's the choke position. We have this little tickler as well.
That just induces a bit of fuel into the carburettor.
OK.
That's picked up.
Thanks entirely to Rob and Brian's expertise, our sturdy Austrian workhorse lives to probably see another 40 years.
Brian tickled it all up, it went first time. That's it, gone. I'm just absolutely ecstatic. He's driving the back wheel in all 3 gears.
Second. I do like to find bits that set it off nicely. Sticker on the back there. The mirror and the tax disc and the white pedals. Looks super, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, look great, so it's good to go.
Meanwhile, our 45-year-old Puch VZ50 is ready for the auction and looking just about perfect. But what's the damage? With the tax and commission, we paid £2,561 to buy it. Parts were £1,027, paint and chrome £240, and labour £1,500, bringing the total to an arguably reasonable £5,328.
So here we have a fully restored Puch.
Yeah, in lovely condition and so stylish. I suppose they were trying to make it fashionable for the 16-year-olds and serviceable for the 65-year-olds going to work, which is almost impossible to do when you think about it, really. But the actual restoration is absolutely superb. You know, carried out by the lads at Barton-on-Humber. They do not do anything more than is necessary, but they do what is necessary. It's as simple as that. That's the result. Fabulous little machine. Absolutely fabulous.
Lot number 270, Puch moped. Puke.
No, Puck.
Puck. Anyway, there it is, guys. It's a lovely little thing, the sort of thing you want to put on display in your hallway. Right, so we've got a £2,000 bid at 2,200, 2,400, at £2,400 bid, 2,600.
2.8, this is more like
2,800, at 2,800, £3,000 bid, 3,200, at 3,400, 3,600, 3,700, at 3,700, 3,800, 3,900 now, at £3,900. On the net, you guys at home at 3,940, at £4,000.
Cheap.
At £4,000. At £4,000. I've been told to sell it then.
They certainly won't be disappointed, will they?
No.
4,100. At 4,001. £4,100. Sold at 4,100. There
Good.
we go.
Happy with that.
Yeah, so I think that's done very well, don't you?
We do, apart from the small financial loss. And the new owner, Melvin Hughes from York, certainly isn't complaining. He's got a bargain.
I'm over the moon with it. I am under the price I got it for as well. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Done a great job. I wanted it because it just brings back memories for me. 50 years ago, my dad bought one of these brand new for my 16th birthday, and I was chuffed to death when I I got up and saw it.
After carefully transporting it home a couple of weeks later, Melvin was able to experience the full multi-sensory nostalgia trip. It didn't disappoint.
It's like going back in time. Flat out, 30 mile an hour. And I used to go all the way to Scarborough, to my mum's caravan on it, and I used to get there and polish it, and then drive all the way back to York. My pride and joy, really. It's lovely. Better than anything I've got at the moment.
His affection for the bike knows no end.
It's going to be in the bedroom, I've got to be honest with you. I've got to put it to my wife yet. I don't think she'll be very pleased, but I'll get round her.